we're back. We got our brand new clutch, rebuilt by Randy, Clutch Specialties. He did us a favor, went to a sprung disc, and actually it's a larger diameter, so it uses all of the surface area of the pressure plate. Strong new pressure plate installed. Our flywheel, mystery flywheel, didn't have hardware. We saved the bolts out of the 1.6 motor, but they were the wrong thread. So, had to run to Ace. These are M8 by 1.0. Weird. So, got those in there. Clutch lined on. And new pilot bearing in the flywheel. New throwout bearing on the trans. Greased up our splines and our snout. So, I guess it's that time. Stab this bad boy on there. Can't wait. All right. Been trying to get some grass to take back here, so I wanted to back the trailer up the channel here, but just couldn't get it to go backwards. So had to drive over all my new baby grass and pull her out forwards after absolutely cooking the clutch in the van. So, and up here, this is like foot deep loose leaf litter, and it's not grippy at all, so there's no chance it was backing up over that. My baby grass. So guess we'll try to get this thing off the trailer over here somewhere in a position where we can maybe get this motor swung in there, huh? Grass! My grass! Oh, well, the diff is great and all, right up until you need to, be gentle. So, before we can get this thing off the trailer, this caliper is locked up, so we'll need to free that up and get this thing a roll. How do you even jack this car up? More hammer. I don't actually know what this is. It says silicone lubricant. Kind of seems like brake parts cleaner. Yeah. Fixed. By the way, these open-ended lug nuts, terrible. A, they're really short, so they barely spline into your lug nut key, so these will crack, but also they let water in the end and they'll rust onto your studs. I usually try to never get the open-ended unless you have extended studs and you just have to. And then you should probably use anti-seize. Well, engine hoist and engine are right there. Old hot rod's right here. So, I think we've got us in a pretty good position for getting that thing swung in here. I guess the next step will be our protective aluminum foil removed from all the surfaces, and decipher what all we have hanging out in here. And I guess get this 1.6 exhaust hacked off. Still never found the power plant frame bolts. Power plant frame bolts. So, yeah. I don't know where we're at, but that's a good enough place to start, right? Right. That's the good stuff. It's like over here, there's an extra engine harness, I think. Because it looks like the entire 1.6 engine harness is still in the engine bay. And this seems like chassis harness and engine harness. Seems like a lot of harness. But it's not connected to the car. It's extremely heavy though. I don't think our shifter is going to be any good. Well, we got her in there. Had to go change my shirt. That Vans shirt was just showing too much of my gut, you know? Felt like you guys are staring at my gut. You're looking at my gut for... So, we got her sitting in there. How about it? It's pretty cool. So, we don't have power plant frame bolts, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get this thing up a little higher, get jack stands all the way around, and at least get the power plant frame lined up with the transmission to help hold the trans up. The exhaust did not line itself up on the way in. FYI though, if you're doing the 1.8 swap and you have a 1.8 NA factory manifold, it looks like it'll line up with the factory downpipe for the 1.6. The flanges are identical at the manifold, and it looks like the correct location. So, that should go on no sweat. And yeah, we still need a belt for our alternator, assuming our fancy pulley lines up, assuming that alternator works. But yeah, looks like today we've already got her in there, so next step will be buttoning some stuff up, plugging things in. I don't have a fuel filter, but I don't know if it's supposed to be in the engine bay and a Miata or if it's somewhere on the frame rail, because, well, Miatas are dumb and I don't have one. Well, now I do. But let's start plugging things in. Well, this thing not having a core sport's kind of neat. You can walk right up in here and, you know, fiddle with stuff. So, we've got some harness on this side. Looks like the only thing over here I'll probably need. This looks like airflow meter plug. These might be for the electric fans, but I don't know because I don't have them. And also, I've never had a Miata before. These are definitely headlights, which, well, they're just cut, so that's a no biggie. And the diagnostic box will just fixed. Okay, so since the airflow meter is not here, doesn't look like we have anything that we need on this side. So, over here, down yonder, we've got the alternator wiring, the speedo cable, and the reverse lights, which I doubt are wired, so I'm not too concerned about those. So, this fuse box is full of water, as you would like them to be normally. And we've got an igniter. Excuse me, Mitsubishi power unit. I think it's an igniter. And yonder over here, we've got other stuff that I don't know where it goes to. So, this and this, probably unimportant. I'll just drop that there. There's more headlight wiring. It's also been cut. And what do we got here? So, one of these is not the cam angle sensor. Does look like one of these is the injectors, though. And maybe the coil packs. Nope. I don't know. So, what else do we got? This one's definitely for the coil pack, or for the cam angle sensor. I wonder if this one's... So the O2 sensor wire is non-existent. Got some grounds. And, yeah, well, this one definitely goes to not this one. Help. I need a tutor. Never done a Miata before. So, I guess trial and error. We'll just start plugging things in. Once we actually have everything plugged in, we'll see, you know, when we get a battery cables, battery wiring. We'll see if any of this stuff seems to function the way it's supposed to. And then maybe we'll go through and reorganize this stuff for a neater appearance in our beautiful engine bay. Right. So, also, our clutch slave cylinder, it needs to go down there, but it shot its guts out at some point, and we lost the push rod. So we'll probably try to fix that and make our own push rod rather than buy anything. Don't have radiator hoses either. What do we have? Honestly, a mess. We've got a mess. Ha! Someone should clean up this mess. As you can see, our drive shaft is in exemplary condition. Should have no problems at all sliding in or damaging the seal. No. So, when you pull your drive shafts out, guys, don't just leave them outside. It's apparently a bad idea. So, guess we'll see if we can, as gently as possible, yet sternly, remove this rust with something. Sure got some sandy papers around here. Got the 220 grit sandpaper on the Motorcycle Throttle Simulator Program 3000. Knocking it down pretty quick. Shouldn't do too much damage to the actual metal, being that it's 220. We'll try to get it as even as possible. And probably go ahead and slide this in, although we don't have drive shaft bolts or power plant fan bolts, so they're lost. So we'll have to see if we can't come up with some of those as well. Swell. With some sandpapering and some scraping on the splines in there. I also, where's my Gooby? Filled it with this, the Must for Rust crud cutter. Down in there, let it soak for a little while. It definitely seemed to eat up some of the rust on the internal splines. Went through and gave her a scrapering. And fun fact, clutch alignment tool for the Miata, same splines. So since I can get that to smoothly and cleanly go down in, I believe we'll be good. Lining that bad boy up in the transmission with little to no problems. Cool. Well, calling it quits for today because I lost my 10mm socket. The memes write themselves, you know? So, we're in there. Yep. She is installed. Couldn't help myself but completely rearrange the wiring. Thought I would do that after we got it running, but nope. Went ahead and I think I'm going to be able to get this fuse box in the car. I've got the front wiring currently coming out of the heater hoses, and I didn't have to extend the CAS wiring because, well, most of my firewall's missing. Your results will definitely vary. So I found a issue. 1.8 manifold totally lines up. It's actually on there, but not bolted to the factory downpipe for the 1.6. Okay, well, herein is the problem. The 1.6 manifold has the O2 sensor right at the collector. We also don't have a good O2 because, well, I don't know. And I'm assuming it's this wire that goes to the O2, but I actually have no clue. Now, this being a 1.8 downpipe, the O2 sensor is after the flange. So we're gonna have to pull our 1.6 downpipe off, swap to a 1.8 downpipe, and get a 1.6 O2 sensor, because this is a 3-wire and this is a 1-wire. So that's gonna have to happen. However, on this car at the cat, the flange is cut off, so we're gonna have to weld a new section of pipe back on there once we do that. But that's the sitch. We're missing parts, and it's gonna be a second. Hurdles all the way. This has been my spare time project, doing some maintenance on the old van here. Did tie rods last night at 9:30 at night. Did a wheel cylinder this morning, and well, what? That's the 10mm. I don't know why it's over there, but it turned up. Cool. Found it.